Happy New Year and welcome to another new series of Money Blocks Releasing Alive. I'm your host, Rosvita Herman, money blocks expert, somatic money coach, business coach, and I've been doing this for almost 11 years in March. So this year's gonna be 11 years. Oh my God, cannot believe. Hey Miha, thank you so much for joining. So as you know, each time we do this, I have a guest. And this guest is so brave and so awesome that they're willing to share with us a money fear they have. And I'm going to release it on all levels, which is something very deep and very personal that I have developed by working on myself. And Hannah is already here, and I'm so excited. Let's wait. Let's see if Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm doing great this morning. How are you?
Well, for me, it's evening, so I'm doing great this evening.
Where are you?
So I'm in Eastern Europe, in Romania. How about you?
Oh, wow. I
I know,
am on
right?
the west coast of Canada.
Oh,
So I'm in British
wow.
Columbia.
Oh, wow. Because I heard your accent. I'm like, is that Australian? Is that UK? What is it?
It is Australian, yes.
It
I,
is,
I
right?
grew
I
up
was
in
like,
Australia, but I was
okay.
born in Canada. Yeah.
Oh, how amazing. Opposite sides of the world
I
almost.
know. Isn't it cool how you get to connect with people all over the world?
Like, can you imagine how many people have dreamed about this opportunity, have imagined that they could reach out in the world and speak to people in an instant and see each other in an instant? It might have
I
sounded
know.
completely nuts, like that will never happen. That can never happen. Like,
I know.
oh, the things.
It's amazing.
Yeah. So, to get us started, I want you to tell us who you are, what do you do, and who do you serve? Which are your ideal clients that you want to tune in?
Okay, so my name is Hannah Davis, and I'm a mindset coach. And I help women who basically have spent a lot of their lives masking and fawning and people pleasing. And I really help them lean into their authenticity and own their desires and learn how to prioritize themselves after a lifetime of serving others. And
Mm,
this really comes from my whole life of doing this
of course.
and finally finding a way out of that. And so I really arm them with the tools of how to stand up for themselves, how to be assertive, how to create boundaries, and really just how to tune in, how to make
Mm,
all of the things inside of you feel okay.
mhm. Well, I must say, I've interviewed lots of people last year, but you are one of the only ones who were so succinct, so clear, and you've explained so easily what you do. So
Mm.
congratulations. As a business coach, this was amazing.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I appreciate that.
So now, if there's one money block that is active right now in your life and in your body and in your business, what would that be?
Okay, so I have a bit of an interesting background with money.
Mm-hmm.
My so for so much of my life, I've been into sugar dating. I don't know if you know what that is, but you're having like a sugar daddy, basically.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I heard of
Yeah,
that.
so I
Yeah.
started that when I was really young, and so I've had a lot of amazing experiences in my life and had so many things provided for me. And I've sort of, I was in a relationship for 5 years with one of these men, and basically now that I'm in my own business, I'm finding it hard to really create wealth for myself and realize that it's okay for me to make money, for me to be the successful one. And I think, I don't know if the block would be I struggle to make money doing something I enjoy, because I know that I can go out and get a job, and I know
Mm-hmm.
I can do that. But I want to
Mm-hmm.
do something that lights me up. I want to create a career. I want to create wealth from my passion.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Okay.
feel like there's a
Mm-hmm.
ceiling there. Yeah.
Hmm. This is a very interesting topic and broad topic, and there are multiple blocks here actually. So let's start to unpack it and see which one we'll be focusing on. So
Sounds
first,
good.
there's this your body, your nervous system, and yourself are used to having things being yeah, are used to being provided for
Mm-hmm.
financially. And there's a dynamic there and an addiction to a certain situation that if you now want to move away from, it's met with a lot of danger and literally fear. Like your nervous system is like trying to brace for impact, like danger, danger, danger. Like why would you do this? Why would you do this to us? Why would you do this to us? Like it's a lot of that. So that's one aspect of it, which is like we can go on. Then there is another aspect. Is it even safe for me as a woman to make money and support myself financially? Again, everything will have to do with safety and danger, but it's
Mm.
another, aspect. Like as a woman, am I safe going out there and doing that, or should I still rely on a man and only do this like a hobby, like for pleasure, like like
Mm.
like a small without that much pressure, without maybe there's that could be even an identity here, like
Mm.
my role as a woman is this, I've lived x amount of years in this identity, so now I'm
Mm.
trying to do exactly the opposite. Is that even feasible? Is that even like
Mm.
possible, or am I just kidding myself just because other women are making it? But is it possible for me as a woman, if it makes sense?
Yeah, totally.
And then let's see, because there I felt, let me connect. I felt there was something else. It's connected to doing something that I love, doing something that fulfills me. Can I make money doing that? Because what you've learned in this lifetime is that that was never an option. Like you found ways to make
Mm.
money easier than others, because you could have worked a 9 to 5, you could work 3 jobs, you could like, so you
Yeah.
did find a way to make money in an easier, more pleasurable way than others,
Yeah.
but it was not necessarily something that it was fulfilling for you, like a
Yes,
career,
totally.
like
And it was attached to shame too.
not to mention. So that's another
Yeah.
thing. But it's like, can I do it with my lived experience, with my magic, with my knowledge? So now we have kind of three subject areas we can go deeper into. Which one feels like that's the most one for me right now?
I think it was the last one that you mentioned. Can I do something that can I make money from something that feels so fulfilling to me
Mm-hmm.
and lights me up and doesn't feel like work? When I think
Mm-hmm.
about what I do, like coaching women, that doesn't feel like work to me. That's exciting. Like every time I get on a call, I'm like, oh my God, what are we doing today? What are we going to tackle? And
I
so it's,
know.
I want to bring more of that into my life and
Mm-hmm.
know that I can make money and it's okay to take money for that. Yeah.
Well, here's a nuance to that nobody talks about this way. So when you have a business, doesn't matter exactly in which niche, like your business, the only pleasurable activity in your business is just the coaching part. But as a business owner, there's so many things you still have to do, at least in the beginning, that are not that pleasurable. So whenever you're trying to tell, oh, is it safe for me to do something for something that is it safe for me to make money doing something that doesn't feel like work? Bitch, please. 80% of your task will feel like work. Just the 20%, which is actually meeting the client, is gonna feel super happy and super expanding and it's super exciting.
True.
So you can connect to that, like next time you feel like on a mindset level, it's like, nah, I still have to do accounting, I still have to do marketing, I still have to do this, I do like there's
True.
still parts of it that are not that pleasurable or that exciting every day, but I still have to do them consistently every week because I'm a business owner. If you would be an employee and just hired to do coaching and nothing
Mm,
else, then yes. But as
mm,
a business owner, you're in charge of decision making, hiring team, systems, creating systems, SOPs, what, I don't know, tools to use, like always having to learn, like, oh, what strategy now and what's new and what, like, there's a lot of aspects that go into being a business owner that, as I said, might not be your forte, might not be something that, like, oh my God, I cannot wait to think about what marketing strategy to use. But you're still going to have to deal with it.
Yeah.
So it's not, because most people are like, oh, but I'm so happy doing this work. No, you're happy only doing a very small fraction of what it takes to run your business.
Hmm.
And that's why a lot of people get very upset with the idea of having an online business, because
Hmm.
we've all been sold this, it's so easy, it's so fun, you do what you love. Yeah, but this much.
Hmm.
And then when it comes to taking responsibility for the rest of it, they feel very upset. They're not ready for
Hmm.
that. And it feels like it's not fair. Like, I want to give this responsibility away to somebody else. And sometimes they even hire a coach that
Hmm.
they wish would take the responsibility away. And then when that
Right.
coach doesn't, or they do and it quote unquote fails, there's somebody to blame.
Hmm.
So I think we need to have this conversation around a business has a lot of parts that are not that enjoyable, but we can still own them just like we have to cook or we have to eat. Not, you don't feel like cooking every day, or you don't feel like making
Hmm.
decisions every day. Oh, what should I have for lunch? Because I'm so overwhelmed right now. I feel like not eating because I don't want to think about it. But we're still the adult who has to think about it or who has to make a decision, because that's what adulting is. So let me know if it makes sense, just like this small observation.
Yeah, it does make sense. I think where I want to shift my mindset a little bit is feeling like even I understand all those parts that I have to do for my business and that they are not so pleasurable. Um, and I also want to feel like because there's this purpose and mission and drive to what I'm doing, and because I know my strong why, those tasks feel better and less like not like being at a job where I'm sitting there like and it's sucking my soul out.
Like, you have your why, and your why is so
Yeah.
powerful and so pure that everything connected to it, it feels like this is nothing because I know why
Exactly.
I'm doing it. Okay,
Exactly.
awesome. So then let's go deeper into, is it safe for me to make money, lots of money, from
Yeah.
something that comes so easy, or for something that
Mm.
excites me so, or makes me so happy? So when you think
Mm.
about happiness, and being rewarded for being happy. Is there a correlation there? Is it safe? Is it normal? Or it's completely out of the question?
Being rewarded for being happy. I don't have a positive feeling in my body to do with that. I think
Mhm.
because I'm the kind of person who throughout my life I always find a way to be happy, and I have sometimes felt like other people would look at that and sort of just see me as like, oh, you, of course your life works out. Of course you're always happy because, you know, things just, you're just lucky and things just fall into place for you. So it hasn't felt really good to me when things happen easily, almost. Like it does feel
Mm.
good, but it also feels like I don't want to tell people how easily this came to me because I'm gonna
Mhm.
get that look again of like the roll of the eyes, like, oh yeah, you know, of course your life works out. So I don't think I have
Mhm.
a positive attachment to big,
Things
amazing
working
things,
out for you
things
and
working
things.
out for me. Yes, yes,
Mhm. So isn't it interesting how you are having the experience of things working out for you, and you have
yes,
that confidence and that knowing that they will work out for me? Duh, they've
yes,
always.
yes.
But there's guilt and shame, because for other people around you, life is not that easy or that
Mm,
simple or that whatever. And then you're, every time you share that with the joy and excitement, like, look what happened to me. And they're like, great, another good thing happened to
yeah.
you. And look at me,
Oh,
here I am struggling, and it's so hard and it's so complicated and it's not fair. And it's not like they're bad people. They're probably happy
no.
for you, but it's just so hard for them.
Yeah. And you know, as you're talking, I can really feel something in my body there. Something
Hmm.
is going, yeah, this is a problem for me.
Okay, okay. So let's see what would be the statement. Um, are you embarrassed if things work too good for you? Are you guilt? Do you feel guilt? Do you feel shame? Like,
Yeah, little bit of guilt, I would say. Guilty that
mm-hmm,
it's so easy for me
mm-hmm,
to draw things into my life that I want. Like I can just manifest like very quickly and always exactly what I want or better.
mm-hmm,
And
mm-hmm,
so, it feels, yeah, like sometimes I don't want to share it. Often I don't want to share it. I will share it with other people who are powerful manifestors too. And, you're going to get a fuck yeah from them.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But it makes my insides kind of wither when I think about that look that I might get from someone of, ah, like, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
okay.
Okay, so let's start with the somatic practice to release some
Sounds
of this
good.
guilt from your body first. So we have like a clean slate, and then we're gonna probably observe what would be the specific. So when I release a money block from all levels, I want you to imagine that I'm a surgeon. I go in to your subconscious and all levels because we do DNA work, cell level, all this, and
Awesome.
I extract that specific statement and install something else in its place. So that statement never comes back unless
Okay,
there's like a huge
great.
trauma or something that it might come
Okay,
back, but it won't come back. If
okay.
the statement is very vague, then it will be released vaguely. So,
Hmm.
it's like a vague release. It still happens, but it's not that permanent, not that like I'll never feel this again. I'll never think this
Yeah,
again.
we want a strong release.
Exactly, exactly. So
Nobody
the
likes
hardest,
a vague release, do they?
well, it does help. So with beginners, I would never go like beginners. When I mean beginners, I mean people who are just starting their self-development journey. They're just starting with their mindset work. They would not benefit from a specific money block release because they're not even aware of what they think in a day. They're not even aware of what they feel on
Mm,
a regular basis. So for them, they're not going to be aware that I've released anything.
okay.
So a vague release for them will be a huge release.
Okay,
So it comes in levels. Like for you,
sure.
the next level is deep releases, like specific deep releases, because you're
Mm,
aware. You're instantly feeling like when I work with people who also are in their body, they do regulation, mindset, energy work, or of some sort. They instantly, the next day, they tell me, oh my God, this manifested because of that release. This happened. Like they're
mm,
instantly aware. But changes happen for every single person that I do releases. But not
mm.
every single person will be aware of that change. Just like you might
Okay.
be looking for your keys and you don't know where they're at, but the next day they're on the counter. And you're like, but I looked everywhere. How come I didn't see
Mm,
it? They were always there, but your perception was not having the awareness of them being there.
mm.
So it's the same thing here. If I just wanted to make the analogy to understand
Yeah, yeah,
why
no.
it works for certain people.
Yeah, that's
So
great. Thank you.
for everybody who's watching and wants to do the somatic, we're going to release guilt from the body. So that's what we're going to do together. So I want you to close your eyes and sit comfortably and breathe in through the nose and out through your mouth. That will be the preferred breathing method. And just breathe a couple of times. Settle into your body. And as you breathe, I want you to connect to each part of your body that is touching another surface. So maybe the chair, the floor. Like just be aware, like where am I touching something that supports me right now? It might be your feet, your ass, your back, your hands, whatever it is, allow it to put awareness on those areas. And as you continue to breathe, I want you to bring into your awareness how it feels in your body to be unconditionally supported. Because right now, the chair and the floor support you unconditionally. They do not care how good you've been today, what have you eaten, how much money you've made. if you've said a bad word or not. The chair will offer you the same exact support today, tomorrow, always. And that's the definition of unconditional support. We all have access to it, but we don't know to recognize it because we only look for it in a specific form that we might not have yet. So I want your body to recognize how it feels like to have unconditional support. And at the same time, I want your body to connect to unconditional or certainty and trust. Because right now, you're able to have your eyes closed because you're certain the floor will not disappear from under you. You're certain the chair will still be the chair in 20 minutes. It's not like somebody will come and steal it or it will break out of the sudden. Like, you don't worry about these things. So you can focus on other things while keeping your eyes closed. You don't feel the need to double check every 5 minutes. Let me open my eyes and check the chair. Is it safe? Everything is working. The floor is still here. Like, that sounds crazy. And at the same time, that's how we do with certain things. That's exactly how we react to certain fears that we have. So I want your body to recognize, how does it feel to have so much trust? How does it feel to have so much certainty? And allow these feelings to permeate every cell of your body because they're real. And now, as we have our foundation settled, I want you to imagine a big, beautiful table in front of you. And you can decorate it, you can make it a party, a Christmas, New Year's Eve, birthday, Thanksgiving, whatever you want to, whatever the theme you wanted to make, wedding, doesn't matter. I just want it to be with your favorite foods, your favorite drinks, your favorite decor, your favorite flowers, colors, everything. Make it pretty, make it you. And at this table, we're going to invite people, thoughts, feelings, memories. And we're going to start with inviting the first person that comes to your mind that made you feel guilty when you shared good news. And now start inviting and allowing all the people throughout your life that made you feel guilty, embarrassed, or ashamed for sharing good things, for having good things happening to you, for how fast good things happened, for how easy good things happened, for how easy your life was, for how easy it was for you to allow money, have money, receive money, allow support, receive support, have support, and just allow them all to come in. And whenever it's done, like there's no more one coming, just let me know.
Mm-hmm. There are a few people there now.
Okay, so now let's invite all these memories. Every single memory connected to these people where you felt guilty, embarrassed, ashamed, like you're wrong, like there's something bad about you, because that's not good to have things come so easily, so fast. So allow all these memories to take shape, become a human, become a person, and sit at this table. And let me know when they're all here.
Okay, I have a lot there.
Awesome. And now we're going to invite guilt, if guilt would be a person, invite shame, invite embarrassment, invite fear, invite rejection, invite danger, invite abandonment, invite judgment, invite privilege, invite ease, invite luck, invite the need to control, invite the need to be controlled, invite the need to be safe, invite the need to be unique, invite the need to be like everybody else and be safe that way, and invite whoever else is waiting to come that I have not mentioned, but you feel it should be here.
I think you got them all there.
Awesome. And now, as you look around this table, I'm going to ask you 3 questions. For the first 2, the answer is yes or no. The first thing that comes to your mind, I don't want you to think it. These are not thinking questions. These are just say what comes first. And the last question, the answer is always now. So here's the first question. As you look around this table, could you, just for now, let them all go and disappear into the light?
Yes.
Would you?
Yes.
When?
Now.
Awesome. Some people might already be leaving, and we're going to ask again. Could you, if it were easy, let them all go and disappear into the light?
Yes.
Would you?
Yes.
When?
Now.
And again. Could you, just for a moment, let everybody go for good and disappear into the light? The light?
Yes.
Would you?
Yes.
When?
Now.
Who is still left?
No one.
So everybody left the table? How do you feel now?
Much better.
What came to you through this exercise? What awareness?
Um, so I keep my eyes closed.
You can open them however feels comfortable.
I might keep them closed actually.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I could just feel all of the icky feelings as all these things, as these people and these memories and what they represent, as all of that turned up. I could just feel my heart beating, and it felt very uncomfortable to sit there with all of them and feel what I believe they feel towards me, and I could just feel the guilt and the shame.
Mm-hmm.
When you were inviting guilt and shame in, I could just feel them in my body. But when I was sort of talking about them disappearing into the light, it's like almost they were disintegrating from the table, just
Mm-hmm.
just disappearing into the light. And then I
Mm-hmm.
felt the relief in my body of me just sitting at that table by myself and knowing
Mm-hmm.
how I feel about what I do, and
Mm-hmm.
how there's never been a question about that. I love how I manifest things so easily, and that
Mm-hmm.
when I'm there by myself, I feel great.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it's all the
Awesome.
opinions of others, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it comes to me to ask you, why does it matter for you what other people think about this?
Why does it matter what other people think? Because I want to be like them. I want to belong, and I want them to like me and respect me.
Mm-hmm.
And I
So if
feel,
things come easy to you, you feel like you're not as respected as people who have a harder time to
yes,
create things,
yes,
manifest things.
yeah, because
Okay.
because when things come easily for me, it hasn't been hard work. So when other people are working hard to get what they have, I feel like that's when they look down on me for
Mm-hmm.
bringing it in so easily, and that makes me feel bad. And
Mm-hmm.
part of me
Okay.
feels like, oh, I need to be suffering more to be respected.
Oh, let me write
Oh.
this down because this is a good one. See, we're getting
Hmm.
closer to the specifics. So how you said
I
I
need to be
need to
suffering more to be
suffer
respected.
more to
Oh.
be. I think this is the one. What do you think?
Okay. Yeah, it doesn't feel good.
Ah.
Oh.
Oh, so see, we couldn't have gotten here without, you see, because we would have talked about it's not safe for me to, I don't know, manifest money
Yeah.
easily, which is a good thing to release. But this one feels more like if we release this one, imagine how your life is changing.
Yeah.
Okay, so the way I do it, I connect into the theta wave, which is a brain wave where we can all get access to everything that is, was, and will ever be. It's just information. And then
Yeah.
I focus strictly on you. I will ask for your permission at every step of the way. I do not do
Cool.
anything without your permission. You will
Yeah.
see that I will ask you, is it okay with you, Hannah? Is it okay with you, Hannah? I will not remember exactly what I'm saying. So, because somebody asked me, please repeat that. And I was like, it's not my consciousness that is
Yeah,
aware. So
sure.
I don't know what I said exactly.
Okay.
I have a feeling of what I've said. I have maybe some idea, but I cannot reproduce exactly.
Okay.
So please be aware of the words that I'm saying because I will just say what I'm getting. Like it's a download that I'm getting and I'll see stuff, I'll tell you stuff. And at the end, I will ask you if it makes sense. How do you feel
Yeah.
about it? All these things that we're going to talk like normal people. Okay. So, are you
I'll
ready?
do my best. Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm
So
ready.
you can keep your eyes closed or you can
Okay.
keep them open. If you keep them closed, you're going to focus more. So, I'm going to keep my eyes closed too. And let's connect. So, Creator, please take me into unconditional love, compassion, and truth in the seventh plane of existence. Okay. Hannah, do you give me permission to work on your energy?
Yes.
Thank you. So, Creator, please bring Hannah here with us. Is she here? Yes. So, Creator, is it true that Hannah has this belief? Let's see. I need to suffer more in order to be respected. Does Hannah believe this? Yes. Okay. So, Creator, I command that you release this belief on all levels and all aspects of her life now and forever, and identify the root cause of this belief. Release, identify, release, and cancel that also, and send it to God's light also. And any adjacent blocks, fears, traumas, memories, or imprints that are connected to this, may them all be identified, released, and sent it to God's love as well. And in return, please install how it feels like to be respected from the divine perspective. So, what does God, Creator, believe we need to be, do, or have in order to be respected? Because our understanding of this definition might be might not be okay, might not be real, might not be the truth. So we want the truth from the divine perspective, and that it's safe for her to be respected, that she knows how to live her life with joy and harmony while being respected, that it's safe to have an easy life and be respected. And that would be it. Is that okay with you, Hannah?
Yes.
Thank you. It is done. It is done. It is done. Okay, so now let's check. Was the belief released from Hannah's core level? Yes. Was it released from Hannah's DNA level? No. Okay, where is it stuck? Is it coming from the mom side? Yes. How many generations? Just the mom? Yes. Okay. So, Creator, I command that you send unconditional love, compassion, forgiveness, and awareness to her mom so that she's aware that she doesn't have to hold on to disbelief anymore. We understand that was the only way in which she could make sense of her life, and that's perfectly fine. There's no problem with that. But now we can have more options. And if it's okay for her, and if it's safe for her, may her also release disbelief on all levels. Thank you. It is done. It is done. It is done. So let's check now. Creator, was the belief now released from Hannah's DNA? Yes. Was it released from Hannah past life level? Yes. Was it released from Hannah soul level? No. Okay, why not? Is there a vow? Yes. A promise? Yes. A commitment? No. So just vow and promise. Is there a curse? No. Okay, so just vow and promise. Were these vows or promises made in this lifetime? Yes. Do we need to know what age? Yes. Was the age around 9 years old? Yes. Do we need to know what happened at that age? No. Okay. So, Creator, I command that you dissolve these vows or promises that Hannah has made around this belief when she was around 9 years old. May them be cancelled and sent to God's love. They're no longer needed. She did them, and we're proud of her because with them she got here, and look how well she turned out. But from now on, these are no longer needed. She is safe without them. Is that okay with you, Hannah?
Yes.
Thank you. It is done. It is done. It is done. So, Creator, where is the block released now from Hannah's soul level? Yes. Was it released from Hannah's energy grid? No. Okay, why not? Is it stuck in the chakras? No. Is it stuck in the meridians? Yes. Which meridians? Gallbladder? Yes. What else? Small intestine? Yes. What else? Is there any other meridian? No. So just gallbladder and small intestine? Yes. Okay. What do we do about them, Creator? Do we flush them? Yes. Okay, so Creator, I command that you flush the gallbladder meridian and the small intestine meridian of all impurities, energies, and imprints that are no longer needed for Hannah. And install fresh energy, install all the information that her meridians are needed in order for her body to function properly and efficiently. Is that okay with you, Hannah?
Yes.
Thank you, it is done, it is done. Okay, so Creator, where was now the block released from Hannah's energy grid? Yes. From this meridian? Yes. Okay. Was the block released from Hannah's nervous system? Yes. Was the block released from Hannah's cells? Yes. Were the block released from Hannah's organs? No. Okay, where is it stuck? Is it stuck in the heart? Yes. What else? Is it stuck in the trachea? Yes. Okay. Anywhere else? No. So just the heart and the trachea? I've never encountered anybody having a block in the trachea. That's a first for me.
I can feel it.
Okay. So let's see, Creator, what can we do about the heart? So is there a physical problem with the heart? No. So it shows me that the block in the organ is like a thin layer, like the skin layer on top of the heart. Like that's what I'm seeing. So, Creator, what can we do about it? Is it protection? Is it like a heart wall? Yes. Okay. But it's interesting because it's not the whole heart, so it's only like from my vantage point, it's only the right side of the heart. It's like, I don't know, maybe 30%, 40% of the heart is like covered with this layer that I'm seeing that's very like it's like a wall. So, Creator, what can we do in order for this wall to be dissolved and for Hannah's heart to be free? It shows me that you need to cry. Why does she need to cry? L- Yeah, tears will dissolve this wall. These are, this is some sort of protection that you've put in order for you not to feel certain things. So as you're gonna feel them, this whole wall will be dissolved. Do you understand? Does it make sense for you?
Yes.
Okay, so I don't need to go deeper into it. You know what's needed here. And creator, what about the trachea? Is there a physical issue with the trachea? Yes. Heartburn? Yes. Do you have GERD, like acid reflux?
Yes.
Okay, so that's the problem. Is there an emotional component? No. So it's just a physical component? Yes.
Mm.
Creator, is there anything I can tell Hannah about this? Is this a priority for her to heal? Yes. Okay. Is there anything I can tell her? Does it have to do with acidic foods? No. Um, does it have to do with eating too late? Yes. What else? Does it have to do with her valve that is connecting the trachea with the stomach? Yes. Okay, is that valve not closing properly? Yes. Okay, why not? So it shows me that that valve is not having enough elasticity. It's like it's very open. It doesn't close, doesn't have elasticity. So creator, what can I do about that? Is there any command that I can give? No. What can I suggest her do then? Is there any advice, any support? Should she talk to somebody like a medical person? Yes. Okay, so you should definitely identify this, investigate this, focus on healing this acid reflux. And it definitely the first would be do not eat late at night
Mm.
because let's see, creator, how many hours before she lays down to sleep should she stop eating? Is it true that it's about 4 hours? No, because that would be like the guideline. Then how many hours for her? Is it 6 hours? So that would
Mm.
be, yeah, because the food stays in our stomach for a longer period of time. And since your valve does not close, as you sit down to rest, like even on the couch, if you sit on your back, then all the food comes back into your throat
Mm.
and it burns your trachea and it
Mm.
burns. So that's why you need to eat 6 hours prior to sitting, uh,
Mm.
on your back, because
Mm.
that way, by the time you're sitting, your stomach will be empty. So there's no acid to
Mm.
come back into your throat. So that's the
Interesting.
that's the the thing here.
Mm.
Okay, creator. So since these two are work in progress, should we move on? Yes. Okay, so show me, creator, was the block released from her tissues? Yes. Was the block released from her subconscious? No. Okay, what holds it here? It tells me that this is the only thing that's not easy for you. Okay. So, creator, what can we do here? And it's funny because it tells me that I need to have one thing that's not easy. Do not take this away from me. So, Hannah, would you like
Wow.
to let it go and have all things come easy to you?
Yes.
Okay, so Creator, I command that you release this belief that at least one thing needs to be hard, and just allow that it's safe for her to have all things be easy. All things of all kinds come easy to her. Okay, so creator, let's check. Was now the initial belief released from Hannah's subconscious? Yes. So was the initial belief released from almost all levels? Yes. Okay. Is there anything I can tell Hannah? No. Hannah, do you have any questions for me in this state?
No.
Okay. So now Creator, I command that you bring Hannah back into her body and you disconnect our energies and clean each other's energies so we can be all full into our bodies. You can notice yourself being cleaned by light, all like are you taking a shower with light, and all parts of your body are being washed away. And that your consciousness is entering your crown chakra and then going back into the middle of the earth and coming back into our heart. And whenever you feel ready, you can open your eyes.
Oh,
You did not expect that, did you?
damn, girl. Oh, I think you really nailed it there. Lucky I wore an absorbent shirt.
Your intuition knew, prepared you.
And waterproof mascara. Oh, wow. Feel good.
Mhm.
But pretty stirred up.
Mhm. See why I don't do this on newbies?
Yes.
It's
Yes, I
deep.
do. It is deep. Yeah, I could really feel it. I could feel my body starting to tremor a little bit.
Mhm.
So
Did it make
interesting.
sense,
Yeah.
the things that you've learned?
Yeah, it really made sense. And it really, something struck me deep when you said, I have to have one thing that isn't easy.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's why I'm holding on to this sort of
Mm-hmm.
block, I guess related on my mum's side. It all made a lot of sense. Yeah. Um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Something my mum has said to me a lot during my life is not all about fun, Hannah. You have to,
Mm-hmm.
you know, at some point get a serious job and,
Mm-hmm.
and so I think that is really in my mind,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
like to
Mm-hmm.
please her almost. I can't be always having fun.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
felt like we were on the money there.
Mm-hmm. As always.
Thank you.
Pun intended.
Exactly. I heard it as I said it.
Ah, so yeah, this is what it means to work with me. You've just noticed it, like because we
Mm,
all have fears, and sometimes we cannot even be aware of the exact specific fear that we have because
mm,
we never actually focus on going deeper so that we're like,
mm,
oh, this is what it is. And that's why a lot of people work on superficial fears, which is good to work on. Like, it's not bad, but you're always going to have to work on.
mm,
This is why, for example, every time you have a launch, I would like, I've been doing this for almost 11 years. So I was in a lot of places, money focused.
mm,
And people will say the same thing. Oh my God, I'm having a launch. The same fear comes up, the same exact fears each time. And because we see that, especially for people from people who make millions and they work on their money mindset, like it's not like they don't. I had this belief that, well, that's just the way it is. Every time you do this specific task, you're gonna come with this specific fear that will always come because those are your fears, like those are your thing. And then I realized that I was doing this work deeper. I was like, but it doesn't have to be this way because once you release it on all levels, then they're not gonna come back. They're only coming
mm,
back because we only do mindset work on them. And they're
mm,
still stuck somewhere. It might be in our chakras, meridians, in our body somewhere. Like they're still stuck somewhere. So because we activate them with a task that we do again, something in us, and yes, throughout time, it might not be as strong because maybe by doing it 100 times, they're only on one level instead of five, but they're
mm,
still there. And it's still
mm,
work that you have to do. Like, in order for you to take action and to feel good, you don't have to do, of course, you don't have to. But if you want to feel good about your launch or whatever you're going to do that's uncomfortable, you're going to have to do it.
mm.
So for me, since I'm obsessed with ease and getting efficiency, like if anybody who knows me, even my assistant, they know I'm obsessed with efficiency and ease. It needs to be easy and efficient. If not,
Yes.
it's not for me. Like we need to figure it out a way.
Oh,
Like
with
I
you
remember
there,
my
sister.
husband would hate me because it's like we need to take that route because that's gonna be more efficient. Like it doesn't matter. We're gonna be there like 1 minute early. I'm like it matters for me.
Oh.
So so yeah. Now, in our ending, I want you to tell us what are you currently selling?
So I'm selling one-on-one coaching, a one-on-one coaching container. So working
Mm-hmm.
privately with me.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where we're doing the work I talked about in the beginning of
Mm-hmm.
helping women just lean into their authenticity and learn how to make themselves important, learn how to
Mm-hmm.
prioritize themselves, learn about their own desires and what
Mm-hmm.
they really want. So we work together for 90 days and
Mm-hmm.
we start to unlock some of their blocks to do with loving
Mm-hmm.
themselves.
And awareness, like actually, I think you
Total
help them
awareness.
become aware of who they
Totally.
really are and what
Yes.
does that look like in right now's life, like whoever, like at whatever point in their life they're at.
Yeah, totally. And how to be courageous enough to actually live that way. Because it does
Mm-hmm.
take a lot of courage to really be yourself
Mm-hmm.
and not
Awesome. So
care so much what other people think.
because they're not living your life, you are.
Exactly.
In the end, everybody has to pay their own bills. Everybody has to go sleep with themselves. So if you don't
Yeah,
like that
exactly.
person, it's gonna be very hard.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So it's very liberating when you start to really
Mm.
love and accept yourself on all levels.
Mm. So everybody who's watching and is like, "Oh my God, that's exactly what I need," definitely follow Hannah, DM Hannah,
Yes.
connect with her, and meet with her and see and work with her, of course. And
I
as
can't
for
wait to
me,
meet you.
because it's easy, right?
Yeah, exactly. Everything's easy around here, baby.
And as for me, I am currently enrolling for my 101. So my goal and focus is being fully booked with 101 clients, just like Hannah. And I'm looking for women who want to scale their business. They want to reach 10K cash months sustainably and consistently because usually women who work with me have made lots of money, but they cannot hold it consistently. And that can show up because they don't have systems or because they cannot have system within their body. Like they might manifest illnesses or situations that they need their attention, so they need to stop. It's not like I want to stop, it's just like outside of their control, quote unquote.
Mm.
So, not to mention overwhelm or anxiety or all sorts of money blocks that show up. So, my job is to create a strategy that's easy, again, efficient, and that the person can implement no matter what. Like no matter how many things, hard things can happen in your life, you can still implement the strategy. Uh, Clarity around how is that even possible to make 10K cash months consistently without overworking? Because I have met with people who are working so much and they have like 20K cash months and then they're like they have 5K cash months and then it's like all the time it's like all this pressure to constantly having to make money, like they're birthing
Mm.
the money, like that hard. So my job is like, okay, let's see how we can do it from a specific standpoint. Like, yes, we need action steps, we need strategies, not just like we just manifested. And then every single session, we do a release like this. So it might be
Mm.
one block, 2 blocks, 3 blocks, depending on the conversations we have. Because once we
Mm.
create the plan and you implement the plan, of course, life will happen. So fears will show up. Maybe you get a no that really affects you, or maybe somebody says something that really affects you, or who knows what's going to show up. So as I'm coaching, at the end, we always have 30 minutes to do a release each time. So that's very, very
Mm.
important for me. And I work in 6 months containers because personally, I've tested, but big results happen after month 4,
Mm.
personally.
Mm.
So Because it takes at least 1 month for the client and me to get, you know, cozy with each other, to build
Mm.
that safety, that connection, that we know how to talk to each other, we know how to
Mm.
communicate. It takes a little bit of a time to adjust. And then it's implementation period, and then it's like, so the more we work, it's like the fastest and easiest the results come.
Mm.
And this is an advice that I would give anybody. When you find a coach, work with them for a longer period of time, like maybe a year or 2 years, or even more. Like I have mentors that have the same coach for 5 years or 6 years. Not
Mm.
because they don't hire other people, they hire other people too, but because they have one person in their life who knows them so well that in one
Mm.
hour, it's like it feels the work of 3 hours, because they don't have to
Mm.
explain, they don't have to go back to, oh, this comes from that. Oh, like 5 years
Yeah.
ago, I had this happen. They've been on the road. They know exactly what happened. They know who they are. It's like a very deep, intimate relationship. So when you work with somebody that you, of course, don't work with somebody that you don't longer like. But if you find somebody that you like and they're good, and stay with them for a longer period of time instead of you hopping to other people, because it's
Mm.
going to save you more time and more money, since they will know you and they will be able to support you much faster. And when you
Mm.
hire a coach, also look at, can they take you a couple of steps, not just the
Mm.
next step? What I mean by that, how much skill and knowledge do they have in order to see you through multiple identities of who you're going to evolve to be?
Mm. Yeah, love it.
Because then, of course, you're going to want to work with them longer because they can hold you. But if they're just like for one iteration, it's still good and do it, but then you're going to have to pick somebody else. So then, just like in
Yeah.
dating, you're still going to have to go
You're gonna
meet
outgrow
some
them
other
pretty quick.
coach.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So as a person who has always outgrown everybody and everything very fast, this was a challenge for me, and it's still a challenge for me. I'm not going to lie. Finding spaces that grow at the speed of how I move.
Mm.
And it can be, even though it sounds like such a stupid, like privileged problem to have, it feels so lonely because
Mm.
so fast you get to be so good, and then other
Mm.
people cannot keep up, and then you feel
Mm.
like bad.
Yeah, I get it.
So that's why I'm sharing this, strictly from what I've been through and what I realized, like, oh, I better have somebody that I can see they know so much in so many areas, in so many aspects, that they can hold me for
Mm.
multiple periods of my life.
Mm.
And I don't, it's, imagine having a coach. I believe it's almost like having a, not again, but having a partner, like a husband, like you invest, you are the most vulnerable with that person. Like they know
Mm.
your deepest secrets, desires, fears. Like not everybody is entitled to that. So you want
Yeah.
to make sure that whoever holds you is not just flashy and not just fabulous and not just successful, but they are there for you. That's a
Mm.
relationship in which you not only invest money, but you invest your vulnerability, you invest your identity, you invest so many aspects of your life. So that person matters a lot.
Yeah.
Because I know people only think about, oh, how much it costs, if I afford it, or how successful are they, or, can they help me with this problem? But they don't realize that, but you're sharing so much more than that.
Mm.
And they get access to your subconscious. So you want to make sure that whoever enters there and gives advice is a person that can truly have compassion, has knowledge, has depth.
Mm.
Because I think just because you've read the book or two doesn't necessarily make you good at holding people.
Mm. Yeah, agreed.
And that's why there's so much abuse in our industry,
Mm.
because they're not bad people. They're not mean, or they intend, bad things to happen, but they don't have depth, or they don't have,
Mm.
enough knowledge on a subject. And I'll give you an
Yeah.
example which annoys the fuck out of me. If somebody is a nervous system expert, so that's who they are as their job, but they use marketing tactics in which are predatory. For example,
Mm.
if you're a nervous system expert, but you tell people now it's $50 and sometime soon it will jump to 100, but you don't know when, that strategy would not be used by someone who actually knows nervous system. Because if you know
Mm.
nervous system, you know that this kind of strategy is predatory. People with dysregulated nervous system who want to work on their nervous system, they cannot hold and I don't know when it's gonna be bigger, it's gonna be double the price, so jump now. It's like, why are you using this against me? My nervous
Mm.
system needs clarity. My nervous system needs step by step. This is what's gonna happen. This is when it's gonna happen. This is how we're gonna do it. So then the question is the person an expert in nervous system, or they're just saying they are, or they are and they're using predatory tactics? Why do they use that? Can they find other marketing strategy that would work without being in this way abusive to their clients?
Mm.
And for me, it's so important that whatever tactics we use are in alignment with what we say we do.
Absolutely.
Like if you're a bro marketer, I'm not gonna expect you to hold me and to nurture me. Like I understand that's who you are, that's what you do, that's your expertise. So I'm gonna come to you only with that expectation. You're only gonna give me facts and do it. Go ahead and hustle your way. And I'm like, great. So I'm sorry that I vented, but this I see this and not people don't talk about it. People look
Mm.
at it like it's normal. Like it's not normal and it shouldn't be normal.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm with you there.
Anything you want to say before we end this?
I was just wondering how you got into what you do, if you could explain, like where you're talking to the creator. And I've never
Hmm.
worked with somebody who does this before, so I was curious.
Uh, let me see. How can I start? Well, I'm a very realistic A-type person, so not spiritual woo-woo kind of person.
Mm.
Although, just like you, I've always been extremely good at manifesting. That's why I was
Mm.
called the manifesting queen 8 years ago when
Okay.
I was
Okay.
working on like that's how I started. I started as I wasn't calling myself a business coach because I was just starting my business, so I couldn't be a business coach yet. But I was helping people figure out having lots of money. Like all my clients made lots of money,
Yeah.
manifest anything they wanted in their life because, and I didn't even know how I was doing it. I was just doing it and I was just helping them through coaching and through whatever.
Mm.
Then I created a course. I tried to be like, okay, if I were to put this step by step how I do it, I created a course called Manifesting Queen, which made me 100K, which was amazing.
Sweet.
And I loved it. And it's still, and then life happened for me where my husband was dying. My husband has been sick always, but after our wedding, he became a vegetable, which was
Oh
9 years ago.
God.
Then we tried everything. Like you cannot, like I don't want to go into like how many doctors, how
Yeah.
many
Oh my
countries we
God.
went to, how many treatments, how many like on all angles, like traditional, Eastern, shamanic, angels, like everything
Oh
you
my
can think
God.
of, we tried. He was a little bit better in 2019. Then by 2022 he was dying. Like there was nothing we could
Oh
do.
my
He lost all
God.
this weight. It was absolutely awful and I lost it. I literally didn't want to live anymore. I didn't want to work. I just didn't. I was like, what's the point? There's no point. So so then I started my business because I could like there was no I was so obsessed with healing him, with saving him, with all these things that nothing else mattered for me. um we ended up homeless. Was making any money. I was the one who was supporting us financially, so I wasn't making any money. And for 2 years, I was homeless. We were homeless. He didn't die. He's still not able to function, so it's not ideal, unfortunately. And during those times where I was like, I lost everything, and you have to imagine I was in a very good place financially, business wise, and to lose everything, I thought I could never come back because my whole
Mm.
identity was tied to my possessions, my image. Like if this happened to me, it means I'm
Mm.
not good enough. All these things. So I had to face
all that.
Mm.
And my tools that I had, so I'm trained in multiple modalities from energy medicine, EFT tapping, uh,
Mm.
RTT, I don't know, like many, many modalities. They were not enough. I, of course, we're always guided to meet the right people to show us what we need to do. So of
Mm.
course I was guided. I had an amazing therapist who opened me up to this kind of work. I was not curious to learn this kind of work. I felt like this was not for me. Again, it was too woo-woo for me. So I was like, I like
Mm.
things to be very like in, I can see them, I can feel them. It's like,
Yeah.
and then after I worked with her for many times a week for 6 months, like, because I needed that kind of support. Like I needed a lot of
Yeah. Yeah.
support. And then I felt it was around my birthday, and I felt this like I need to learn how to do this. And it
Mm.
was like I had to fight with so many versions of myself who were like, this is crazy, like who's gonna believe you? Of course nobody did. I didn't tell anybody. I mean, for a long time I didn't. I like my husband knew, my best friend knew, and that was it. The only time I started telling people was last year. And even before last year, I was still doing this in coaching with my clients, but I wasn't advertising it. So I
Wow.
would tell them that I do this and they would see how I do it, but I wasn't advertising on social media that I do it. I was just
Mm.
advertising as a business coach. So
Okay.
this was just a secret. And as I was learning this method, I realized that this method is incomplete because I could feel it incomplete. So I became obsessed. I would work many hours a day just practicing on myself and
Mm.
deepening and understanding. And that's why the way I do it, you can see I ask many questions like, is it true? Yes.
Yeah.
Because of my ration mind that needs to make sure that I don't want to just to see something. I want to make sure that trying to analyze it or double check
Mm.
to make sure it's real and that's it's not my
Mm.
consciousness or my belief system. So I would do that. I would test. I remember I would test at least 200 things a day, muscle test, because that would be, I could
Wow.
feel that. Now I don't need to muscle test because I know instantly. But back
Okay.
then I would muscle test that because I was also very depressed. So when you're very depressed, your frequency is very lower. You're very vulnerable.
Mm.
You're not feeling
Mm.
things. So I had to learn so many things by just working on myself. And I also noticed that even though I released so many blocks, my reality has didn't change. And I was like, is this work bullshit? Am I just gaslighting myself, pretending I'm working on something that's unseen and in reality it's not working? And oh my God. And then I asked God, I remember I was like so upset. I was like, why hasn't my reality shifted yet? Like, how long does it take? Like, what's wrong? What am I doing wrong? And then the answer came, which now is the core part of my work. I didn't have capacity. So
Mm.
capacity means how much bandwidth do you have for the things that you want. So for example, I was homeless. I was in a lot of stress and survival every day. My husband was extremely sick. We didn't have, I mean, I was making money at that time, but it was always making money, not making money, making money, not making money. That's why I know
Mm.
so well how to help people that are in the same situation because I've been in the same situation and I knew how to get
Mm.
out of it. And then I was like, okay, what does it mean to have capacity? It means that I didn't have bandwidth for more clients, even though I wanted more clients, even though I didn't have any fears around receiving more clients. But when will I service them if I was so sick? If
Mm.
all my energy was dealing with cooking for myself and taking care of my husband.
Yeah.
So then I was like, okay, I need to have more capacity first. And then
Mm.
so for me now, the way I work is like the first thing we do in our first ever session is a capacity test. Because every single desire you have takes space in your nervous system, in your energy grid, in your bandwidth.
Mm.
And a lot of women, just like
Mm.
me, because as I said, I want things. I'm like, I want a lot of things, big things, but you have to prioritize based on your life situation. And that
Oh,
for
this
me
is so
was my
good.
biggest lesson because as somebody who always got everything that she wanted, that was true when nobody else depended on me. But life gave me a
Mm.
husband who was sick who depended on me. Just like somebody
Mm.
has a child, like in a single mom, maybe.
Yeah.
You cannot compare somebody who doesn't with somebody who does
Yeah.
because they will have different bandwidth, different capacity.
Yeah.
So for me, who was always like, but I want it, but I can do it. Let me see how I can do it. Like I will do it. I will prove that I will do it. Like, no, no, no. You cannot handle, your body cannot handle it. So
Oh, so interesting.
so on top of being depressed, I was also very sick in my body.
Mm.
So I had to was like, okay, so my first goals were not actually how to make more money, was how can I get myself healthier to increase my capacity to do the things needed for the money to show up.
Mm.
And that was a hard work. Again, because in my mind, I'll have like, I can do that. I can post 3 times a week. I can do whatever. And then my body will be like, no, bitch, you cannot. You need smaller action steps. You need simpler strategies
Yeah.
if you want to be consistent. Because this is the long game. This is not, oh, I'm gonna
Mm.
do, get the
Yeah.
result, get the client, get the money, and then pause. Something happens. Like that's
Mm.
how my life was the last few years. I would make 30K and then 2K for I don't know 2 months because I couldn't
Mm.
show up. Not because the money suddenly didn't happen. It's because I was so sick or my husband got so sick that I had to take more care of her or be more worried about him or just be
Yeah.
in that I couldn't deal with posting on social media. I felt like so stupid. Like who cares about
Mm.
social media right now?
Mm. Yeah, I can see that.
So that's why I've realized, okay, how can we do it in a way that would work, that would be efficient? So that's how my work with this, with the creator and with became so much deeper. And I also know now, because I've asked creator, why was I able to learn so fast? Because there are people who, like, I'm still like, you could consider a new because I've only done this for 2, 3 years, because I've done this in the past life. In many past lives,
Mm.
I've done this. So
Mm.
for me, it was just a remembrance of who I am,
Mm.
and also
Mm-hmm.
accepting that I can be both. I can be very rational and at the same time very spiritual in this sense. And I was very afraid I will be called a witch last year when I started, because that's why I'm doing these lives. I'm like, okay, this is how it works. You can see it how it
Mm.
works.
Awesome.
And I was afraid like everybody will think I'm crazy, like people who have known me forever who didn't know about this part of me. Even my husband didn't believe in this. He started believing last year, let's say maybe after half of the year. And he would see results, like he would know exactly what I would work, because I would tell him, hey, I worked on this fear, and then boom, this manifested. And it was still weird. It was still weird to believe that it could happen this way. And then he allowed me to work a little bit on him because he wouldn't allow me to
Okay.
work on him. And because of his nervous system is more sensitive, I
Mm.
could only work a little
Mm.
bit. And then he would start seeing results, like things that he would work on.
Mm.
And be like, fuck, this is crazy. It's like, oh my God, I cannot believe it. So yeah, and then slowly and slowly, as he saw more and
Wow.
more things, because as I said, just like with you, if you know and you're aware, it's like, wow, okay, I can feel it, I can sense it, I know it's happening because I am that way. So that's how, and the more people I do these releases with, of course, the more, not necessarily confidence, because I know this works, more safe I feel around doing it with more people. And so it's
Mm.
like,
Okay.
especially that I yawn a lot when
Yeah, I
the
noticed that.
what I notice when the release is bigger, like the charge of the energy of the block in that specific area where it was, it's big, the yawn is bigger.
Interesting.
And it's not safe to put your hand in front of your mouth because you want to release the energy.
Ah, okay, like I just did.
Exactly. So that was another thing
Yeah.
for me, that's so shameful. And I had to be like, fuck
Ah,
it, I
to
don't care.
yawn and not cover your mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, interesting.
So as I said,
Okay.
as you can see, I worked on so many layers and so many things, and I know that the method that I'm doing right now is not the full method I will be doing in this lifetime, but is the full method for who I am at this stage. And I
Hmm.
know that things will get deeper as I'm learning more. So I'm also obsessed with health. Like I know so much about health. Like that's why I can guide and see what's wrong with your body because I have
Hmm.
already medical knowledge, and that's why.
Ah, okay.
So I've realized that the more I will have more knowledge around certain aspects of the body and the energy, I will be able to have even deeper releases. But it's not
Hmm.
necessarily a priority for me right now. And I know when it will be, I will be guided to know what to learn next.
Aha. Interesting. I thought it was so amazing that you picked up the trachea and
Trachea.
the
Mm-hmm.
reflux that I've had. I've
Mm-hmm.
had reflux for such a long time, and my mum gets it too.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that was really quite mind blowing for me that you picked that up. Like, because I'm always
Mm-hmm.
having to clear my throat and like,
Mm-hmm.
and I hold a lot when I'm doing meditations and releases and somatic work. I hold so much in my throat and jaw,
Me
and I get
too.
so much
Me too.
tension there. It's
Mm-hmm.
crazy.
For me, it's like my whole life, I felt like somebody was strangling me. That was the feeling that I would
Mm.
get, like whenever I would have strong emotions, I would feel like somebody's just choking me.
Yes, that's what I get too. It's such a
Mm-hmm.
strong feeling, and my
Mm-hmm.
whole jawline just tenses up. Like, it is unbelievable.
Yeah, and then I still have that, but it doesn't show up as pain as for some people. To me, it shows up as, again, you'll know even more what I do. I'm obsessed with Chinese medicine, with all these things. So your tongue actually can tell me a lot about your health. So of
Okay.
course my tongue, of course I know what's the problem with my tongue. So you will have ridges on the outside of your tongue, and that's a clear
Mm.
sign of pressure in your TMJ because you're gonna be like this all
Clenching.
night,
Yeah.
clenching, and
Okay.
your tongue would be so close to your teeth that it will actually leave marks.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I've
I'm
always
gonna go
had
look
that.
at my tongue after this.
Yeah, I never knew like what it meant until I started to study about the Chinese traditional medicine. I was like, oh, it's all connected. And I'm the healthiest now I've been in maybe 8 years, but I'm still
Oh,
not
wow.
the healthy at the version that I want. And I
Okay.
realized that most people are sick and they don't even know because
Mm.
um they're used to numbing their symptoms with sugary food, with
Mm.
coffee, with other things, like maybe even medication, like all sorts of things. So they're not even aware they're having an issue. It's like, oh, I'm always tired in the afternoon. Oh, I just have another coffee. Or, oh, I'm
Mm.
always this or that. I'm like, or I'm always bloated. I'm like, that's not normal. I'm sorry, but that's not normal.
Mm.
That shouldn't be normal, but we're just so desensitized for a lot of issues. So for me, it's like I'm obsessed with getting myself healthier, and yeah. So I know a lot about biohacking, a lot about all these things. Also because of my husband, because he's being so
Right,
sick,
of
and
course.
for so
Yeah,
many years we
gosh.
didn't know what was wrong with him and how to heal him, and we had to figure it out by ourselves how to heal. Like, and I'm learning a lot through that. And I know
Wow.
there's always a bigger purpose to everything. Like, you're not meant to suffer. Like, that's not the point of this life. Like, oh, you should suffer with this. Suffering is optional when we do not have support. Like,
Mm.
pain exists for sure, but suffering is optional. And our job is to learn how to receive support, how to ask for support, how to create
Oh,
support in our lives, all
yeah.
these things.
Wow.
I talked a lot. As
Awesome.
you can see, I can talk forever and
Well, I
ever and
loved it.
ever.
I loved meeting you.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
this is so great. Really, really so happy with the connection, and thank you for your time.
Thank you. It was really, you're very grounded. I love your energy. Your energy is very mature. I haven't met
Oh, thank
somebody
you.
with such a strong energy in a long time. Very
Oh,
grounded,
wow.
mature. That's what I'm
Thank you. That's such a
sensing.
huge compliment.
Like, I sense from the first, like, beginning when I told you how clear you are. This means like your energy is very grounded when people can express themselves so clearly. So
Mm.
yeah,
Wow, thank you.
it's
I
a
really
nice.
feel that. Yeah, thank you. That was just amazing meeting you.
Thank you. So everybody who's watching, thank you so much for being here. And I look forward to seeing you soon. We're gonna get a new round of lives soon. We have about 20 women on the waiting list. I'm just gonna have to
Woo!
start messaging people and scheduling new lives, but I'm doing it with ease. So if it's not easy, I will not
With
do
ease,
it.
because
Yes.
everything around here is easy. Easy and abundant.
Yes. So may you all have a beautiful evening or day ahead of you, an amazing weekend, and find ways to make yourself be happy because nobody else can do it for us, no matter how well our outside circumstances can be. In the end, only we can know what we feel exactly. So find ways to soothe yourself. Just soothe yourself. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.